What is up guys, welcome back to another video. As you guys already know, the Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 open beta was ended like a couple of days ago, and I actually had the chance to test out the game on official minimum system requirements, and the performance is actually quite surprising. So as the minimum system requirement for this open beta test, you need to have an i5 3570, which is a 4-core 4-thread CPU from 2012, and also an 8 gigs of RAM, and as a graphic card wise, you need to have an GTX 960 or an RX 470. But they specifically mentioned that you need to have a 3 gigs of minimum video memory, which is kind of surprising because GTX 960 only comes with either 2GB or 4GB versions. And also you need to have the latest graphics drivers from Nvidia or AMD and the latest Windows 10 update. So guys, let's get into see how it performs. So the PC specs that I've been testing this game out is basically the same as the minimum requirements of this game. So as the CPU wise, I have the i5 3570 and also an 8 gigs of dual channel RAM paired with an Nvidia Geforce GTX 960 2GB version. And I also have to upgrade the Nvidia graphics drivers to the latest version and also the Windows 10 latest update. Otherwise, the game simply not going to launch. And also guys, I currently don't have a SSD or a NVMe drive installed in this PC. So everything is running on the regular SATA hard drive. And also for some reason my MSI Afterburner wouldn't work with this game after the Windows update, so I have to use the Xbox game bar as the performance overlay. Anyway guys, let's see how this actually performs. Alright guys, first of all, I'm running this game on 1080p native resolution on low settings, and I'm getting around 35 to 45 FPS, which is actually not that bad, but surprisingly the CPU usage is just hovering around 80 to 90%, which is actually a big surprise to me because I'm currently recording the gameplay using the Nvidia Shadowplay as well. Besides that, the GPU is almost 100% as intended, and also the VRAM is just below the 2GB limit we have, and also the RAM is around 80 to 90%. So because of all that, even though I'm getting around 35 to 45 FPS, my gameplay is very much smooth and I don't get any FPS drop or freeze even while recording the gameplay, which is a big surprise for me. This is actually a very playable experience in my opinion, even though in a fast-paced first-person shooter like Call of Duty, you need to have at least 60 FPS, otherwise the overall experience is not going to be that good. In my case, my GPU is only having 2 gigs of VRAM, so I'm not going to try out the medium or higher settings, which is definitely going to be unplayable. So if you have a GTX 960 with 4 gigs of VRAM, you can definitely try out the medium settings, but you probably get around 20 FPS, which is literally unplayable. Anyway guys, in order to hit that 60 frame rate mark, we need to use that upscaling method that the game offers. That helps you to improve your frame rate massively rather than dropping the resolution. And also guys, during this playtest, I used the Steam Lite mode instead of regular Steam, which reduces your RAM and CPU usage massively and ultimately helps you to get more frame rates and much more smooth experience. If you don't know anything about Steam Lite mode, I previously made a video regarding it, explaining how to enable it, and basically it will improve performance on any game that you run on Steam. Alright, now let's turn on the upscaling method and see how much FPS improvement that we can get. Alright guys, currently this beta version support Nvidia image scaling, Nvidia DLSS as well as AMD FSR. But unfortunately, our GTX 960 is not going to support Nvidia DLSS, so we have to use Nvidia image scaling and AMD FSR. I tried out both upscaling method and I'm going to show you guys the result as well. Alright, now I'm going to turn on Nvidia image scaling and use in different settings, quickly show you guys how it performs. And also the timestamp will be available in the description if you want to skip into the certain part.
fresh mag.
Oh!
Moving. Switching back. Switching back.
Alright guys, now I'm going to try out the AMD FSR in different settings and see how it performs, and the timestamp will be available in the description.
I'm reloading.
Enemy counter UAV is active.
Reloading.
The retro.
Throwing Semtex.
Enemy UAV active. We have taken the lead.
So ultimately both of these upscaling methods give you a very decent amount of FPS boost, and I also found out the Nvidia image scaling method performs a little bit better than the AMD FSR. Previously we are getting around 35-40 FPS, but with this upscaling method we are getting around 65-70 FPS on 1080p, which is actually really decent performance. Both Nvidia image scaling as well as AMD FSR give you about the same amount of performance increase in my opinion, but Nvidia image scale does come with a sharpness filter, so you can sharpen up your image, which will increase your visibility much more. But both upscaling method works pretty well in my opinion. So finally I have to say I wasn't expecting this much of frame rate from these type of old hardware, especially in a game like Call of Duty in 2022. And also I'm getting this frame rate while recording as well. So if you try to turn off the recording, or if you don't want to record your gameplay, you will be getting around 5 to 10 FPS boost, which is actually pretty good in my opinion. Alright, let's say you actually have this type of similar system requirements and you decide whether you want to buy the game or not. So I would say you actually have to wait till the game fully released, because these are only the system requirements for the open beta test, and they will be adding much more content, much more bigger maps into the game, especially in Warzone 2.0, like you're playing on the Battle Royale mode in a bigger map, so the performance could change ultimately. And also they currently haven't mentioned any specific details about the official system requirements of this game, so we have to wait until the game fully released. But the good news is this game is going to support support the old PlayStation 4 as well as Xbox One, so those are pretty old hardware at this point. For the current open beta test, I would say the performance is really good. I'm actually surprised how it performs, so hopefully once the game come out, everything will be much more smoother with lot more optimization coming into, especially if you're considering playing this game on a low-end computer or a laptop. Well, that's pretty much it for this video, guys. If this video is somewhat helpful for you guys, make sure to drop a like. I'll be doing more benchmarks and the performances once the game come out in October 28, so we have to wait and see how it performs, so stay tuned for that as well, guys. I'll catch you guys soon in my next video. Stay safe.